What's up, everyone? It's Canaan,
It's Jesse.
and we are the Geeky Saying Couple, and welcome to our analysis of RWBY Volume 8, Chapter 13. Now, we're going to do this kind of like we did Chapter 12, a little bit more, not as long as the past ones, but maybe not as fast as the last one. But it's late. We just got done doing another video, so, she worked today, so she's tired, so don't want this to be a too long video. Now, there's a lot to cover, though. Particular moment we covered more in a separate video that will be up later this week. But yeah, if you enjoy our content, please hit the subscribe button. Help us get back to 400 subscribers. Click that like button. Leave us a comment. If you want to support us on Patreon, the link is down in the description, but you don't have to. All right, so the episode literally opens with the portals opening. And everybody's just like, well, what do we do now? And, pretty much say, stick to the plan, get people through the portals and all that. And Nora brings up a good point. The populace aren't just going to walk through these portals that just showed up out of nowhere. They've got to have someone there to be like, hey, these are safe. You don't have to worry about anything. I have to admit, Emerald was pretty attractive here, walking around with her arms crossed. I don't know why. She just... So Jean is the first one selected to go through, and it's like this MCU, like this Marvel thing, where he's just flying through this vast existence or whatever, and I'm like, oh man, I'm sure to you it looked like it'd be fun because you like roller coasters, but to me, I'd have been like, holy crap, I'd have needed a new pair of drawers after that. And of course,
And it just eats him out the other side.
And of course,
to the ground.
And of course, Jean being Vomit Boy, he almost pukes.
Well, the thing is, all the others, they end up on their feet, but Jean being Jean, just...
Yep. So they end up in the little existence that's been created for this plan. So Jean and Nora are pretty much going to funnel people through, while Ren, Oscar, and Emerald are going to meet. I think they were asked to go out to Vacuo, so they're there when people come through, or maybe they're supposed to
go to the door that is Vacuo, so they know who to go to.
Yeah,
because there's so many doors.
Yeah, and Oscar's like, you sure you don't need more help? Which, Jean and Nora are like, no, we'll be fine. You guys need to help everyone else, because if anyone's going to need help, it's going to be them. And there is this slight little Renora moment where Ren kind of gives her this look like, they're 100% okay splitting up and doing their own thing.
Because they trust each other, that they know this is how this needs to work. I mean,
and of course, Emerald still being the villain who just switched to the good guy side, is being all like just huffy, and Oscar gives her a look like, it's time to do some good. Go on, go do it. Kind of like, I love this brother-sister relationship they're kind of already developing with Oscar and Emerald. It's really, really cute. So
I loved this. It was funny. The fact that they all
somehow fit behind this stairwell, and they're like, what is that thing? And so this random guy gets picked to check it out. He chucks a rock, and
it smacks him right in the head.
If it's gonna happen to
Jean,
if it's gonna happen to anyone, it's gonna happen to Jean. Jean is the Krillin of RWBY. I hate to say that, but if you've ever watched Dragon Ball, if anything's gonna happen, it happens to Krillin. So yeah, they start getting people through, and here we learn Penny can still fly using her maiden power. So I was like, okay, well, she doesn't have to get used to not being able to fly. Everyone's like, give her some shoes, please, and some pants.
I think it's a combined of maiden powers and how she was rebuilt. Since he went off of her robotic original plans, he kept elements she had, which we'll see later, and I'll point more to this, but just made her a real girl instead of the robot parts. So they kept everything, but...
Yeah. Excuse me. So Team Ruby and Penny step through and, see, which the fandom has pretty much called Rainbow Road from Mario Kart.
Well,
It's to me, it's that, but also reminds me of some Japanese RPGs that have these dungeons where it's just door after door after door you have to go through, and it's annoying. Plus, if it's an older one with random battles, I hated dungeons like that. But yeah, the music here is really awesome. It's really grandiose. And of course, Nora is just zipping all over the place, just making sure everyone is getting to where they need to go. Which, Team Ruby, their job is to get Penny and the staff through the door. That is, they're like, leave everything else to everyone else. We're escorting Penny. That's the one thing that we need to do. They just talk about, how the other way should have enough space for everyone. And so we see Emerald, Oscar, and Ren step through, and
well,
there's a sandstorm going on, which of
and
course...
apparently that's not the only issue we learned.
Yeah, it's not just killing visibility. They have no service on their scrolls.
Which makes sense. In a sandstorm, you wouldn't. It would kill a lot of things.
Yeah. A lot of people's been looking forward to Emerald and Vacuo, so we got our first taste. So people
Aladdin.
Yeah. They do start funneling through. Nora is continuing to make sure everyone is, fine. There she goes zipping off, and
we know who that is.
Yep, there is Cinder, and it doesn't take long for Cinder just sets off an explosion, and some civilians do fall into the void. Team Ruby, of course, sees what's going on. They start running off. I don't think they know it's Cinder at this point, but they soon learn that it is Cinder. And she says some very mocking things. Your little friend Oscar was right. Oh, how did she know? Well, we learn very quickly that... Now, here's the thing, though. Cinder tells Neo, I know I haven't upheld my end of the bargain, because as you can see, she's ready to shoot. She's wanting to shoot Cinder, which I kind of hope she still does. But to pretty much for me to give you what I owe you, I need to ask the lamp a question. Neo still has this look like she doesn't fully trust Cinder. And I love that she pulls the lamp out of her hat. It's like, oh... magic trick, pulled the rabbit out of the hat. But Cinder summons Jen and asks her the question, what have Ruby and her teammates planned? And it is very interesting because, let's see if I can land on her.
She
doesn't want to do it.
She doesn't want to tell that because she knows...
What'll happen.
She knows what'll happen, but she also knows...
She kind of probably figures what Cinder's intentions are.
Yes, but she knows what Team Ruby is doing is the right thing. Mm-hmm. Like, what both teams are doing. They're doing what needs to be done, and she doesn't want to give someone like this that information, But
it's interesting, usually with beings like this and other forms of media, they don't pick sides. They just do what they're tasked to do, and it doesn't really matter if the user is good or evil. They could really not care what goes on in the mortal world. But
this shows that they have a little bit more of a
Jen, she grew to like them. She knew that what they were trying to do. It was jarring in a way,
especially after the second time Ruby summoned her and didn't ask a question. She could see, she can see where their hearts lie. And that's where I think they can see. That's what sets them apart from other beings outside of Ruby that are like this. These ones, yes, they're essentially those beings, but they have more of a...
personality.
They have more of that personality and
they may actually have
a heart.
Yeah, they may actually have feelings. They can grow to like someone.
Yeah, well, the thing is
kind of like Genie from Aladdin. This is kind of the same thing with when Jafar got control of the lamp.
And it kind of makes sense. Also, I mean, they all probably know what will happen if all the relics come together and end up in the wrong hands.
Yeah.
So it'd be furthermore for her to not want to tell, even though she has to, you know, feel good in this.
So yeah, Cinder sees everything. She sees the whole plan, but the thing is, she sees Emerald is with them.
It makes her mad.
Yeah, so...
Which, that's another thing that triggered my newest theory.
Yeah, which is in another video that will be up after... It'll be up the same day the episode airs, so shh. We don't want to spoil that too soon. But yeah, why is Emerald mad? Is she mad that one of her underlings that she had control of is...
Cinder.
Oh yeah, what? Like, why is
why
Cinder...
is she mad of seeing Emerald?
Is this because... Does Cinder actually does care about Emerald? She just doesn't show it? Or is it because another one of her underlings that she had control over is now thinking for themselves? I think the latter.
I think the control of hers is slipping away, and she's saying, okay, well now everyone that she has doing the work for her is going away, and that's going to cause anyone that wants power to go mad.
But yeah, Cinder sees everything, every bit of planning that we saw, and then she says to Watts, "How about we finish what you started?" And this, I won't lie, was kind of hard to watch after what recently happened in Atlanta, but, I mean, this episode was probably made a while ago, so you sadly can't plan for what happens in the real world, but they pretty much commit mass murder. It was rough. Anyway, and the music that plays during this is kind of such an awful thing's going on, but the music is so soft and calming, it's eerie. Like, the music just made me uncomfortable. The music made me really uncomfortable. Now this was weird. Like, so pretty much they know about the bomb because of Ironwood just telling everybody. So that's what Watts is doing. He's trying to get control of the bomb. Now, when Cinder said, "You deserve this, Arthur," it sent a chill down my spine. Like, what exactly is she meaning? Does she actually mean it? Or is she setting him up? Like,
I think it's both. Like, I think she means it to him, but she's obviously using this for her own gain.
Yeah.
And
the way he looks at her, like, he looked at her questioningly.
He doesn't trust her.
Yeah, and let's admit it. After the little pep talk he gave her,
he hit everything on the nail at that point.
And this Cinder is very cold, calculating, but she's covering all of her bases now. So
eerily calm.
Yeah.
The thing is, I mean, you can see the way everything that's, she may know everything, but it's not going to end in her favor either way.
No, I don't think so either, because she's definitely going beyond what Salem told her to do.
She asked what they were planning.
Yeah.
She didn't ask how to get what she wanted.
Yeah. So she used up all of Salem's questions. So
she's not. There's already death flags there, and we've known this.
So in this scene right here, we pretty much learned. So in our chapter 12 reaction, I thought the reason why they lost all signal was because they used the staff. So Atlas is pretty much dead.
Starting to shut down.
Yeah, but no, it was Watts who shut down everything. So that was very interesting to see. I'm wondering if the apple is a sign of anything. Like, I know Weiss is Snow White, but could that be the poisoned apple somehow?
I mean, it could, especially if Cinder's setting him up.
Yeah, like, did Cinder do something to the apple? That's what I'm wondering.
I don't know, because he wiped off what was on it and then ate it anyway.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, he was sitting in a cell for how many hours? Mm-hmm. So, of course, if he said, okay, I'm going to take this. that's kind of the look he gave when he picked it up. So,
yeah. So
I don't know. It has to have some significance, I think, because they focused on it.
Yeah. So Crow and Robin are pretty much arresting the Aesops, and this is a very interesting thing. Elm brings up that they're using the staff and that Alice is going to fall, and Robin says...
But she's not... Like, the thing is, Elm wasn't exactly fighting back.
No, she was more or less... Like, it's... I think it's just the shock, and she's not thinking her words
No,
carefully.
she's not. She's just acting. But the thing is she's not actually fighting back. She didn't go and attack.
Well, they're still frozen.
Well, yeah, but even when she came in, she wasn't. If you look at past moments before she attacked, it wasn't the same. It was going through the motions to just appear like things were normal. Kind of how we described in the last episode.
But Robin makes a really good point. She pretty much says, what's more important, the people or the hunk of rock that they're on and all that. So yeah, they're pretty much, the Aesops are still frozen by Marrow, so they're arresting them pretty much. Well, Watts takes control of a robot pretty much, and he finds the hangar where the bomb is, and he sees them, and this robot does the best power walking I have ever seen in my life.
It was funny.
And it blows up. He causes it to blow up, which, Marrow is knocked out, so his semblance wears off. Harriet looks at Elm and Vine. Elm is still, her hands are bound, so she can't do anything. But Harriet hurries up into the airship and goes to leave, and Vine catches up to her and uses his semblance to pretty much hang on as she takes off. So Ironwood wakes up, sadly. I wish he could have stayed knocked out the whole entire time. But Jacques still being the ass that he is, oh, Atlas is falling under your watch, man, if only someone, like, he didn't say this, but it comes off like if only someone else had been in charge. Like Winter. But anyway, he's distraught that, they've got the staff, they've used it.
And you can tell, like, as if we've already seen, his semblance is taking over more and more. But here,
he's having a breakdown.
His semblance is like,
it's wavering. Well, I think it's wavering in some ways, but, and I'll get to that here in a sec. Why I think so, but what would you?
It starts flickering and it goes out.
What are the odds that his cell opens up? So the other half of evil is out. And we learn, like, these footsteps were very eerie. It's like, you gotta be kidding me. And it's interesting. We were wondering in chapter 12 where his guns were.
Because they weren't in the holsters on him.
Yeah, so we learn. And also, Jock's like, you're going to let me out too, right? We learned that this big gun that he has, his guns go into it to make one big gun. And he kills Jock. Just like that.
And it got me a little bit. And the thing is, and my reasoning why is, okay, think about it. Yeah, okay.
Jacques was an ass.
Yes,
there's no denying that.
But the fact that
he didn't deserve to die like this.
No, he didn't. And the fact that, out of all people, the one who wanted to spare him and come back for him was Weiss.
Yeah.
So Weiss is looking at it. She's thinking more grown up than he really gave her credit for.
Yeah.
Like, she's, just because he's an ass and she arrested him and all that doesn't mean she's gonna leave him there to die.
Yeah,
so it's still her father.
Yeah, because let's face it. Yes, Jacques was an asshole. He was an abuser, both mentally and physically. He was a racist, but I don't think he deserved to be blown into bits. He definitely deserved to be locked up. But I just don't think he deserved to be flat out murdered.
No, and it's...
Especially when last episode they kind of showed maybe he had a bit of, like...
With what Winter told him, it wasn't me.
Yeah, like
it was Weiss.
Like, I'm not saying that there was any hint of redemption there, but maybe he kind of regretted how he'd always been in a way, maybe. Who knows?
I didn't see him...
He was acting the way he was toward Ironwood because he doesn't like Ironwood.
Yeah, and I don't think he would have had a redemption either, but it would have at least...
What was that? Oh, well.
It would have at least, even though I don't think they'd accept him back to the family, it would have changed things slightly. For him to see, okay, maybe I have been wrong. I don't see him changing his ways, but it would have been some type of
We'll never know now. But anyway,
Yeah, I know.
Cinder is fighting Team RWBY. No, she's actually kind of impressed. Like, she said she probably could have guessed what they were planning, but she never would have guessed this. And like I gotta admit, it's pretty cool. She's got this whole big fire tower thing going on here, which is pretty cool. Now, a lot of people have said that if you look at this really easily, RWBY was preparing to use her eyes on Cinder, because her eyes do light up a little bit. But sadly, she doesn't get to, because Neo attacks. Yeah, so Neo is solely focusing on RWBY because, of course, Cinder has lied to Neo and told her that RWBY is the reason why Roman is dead.
I just realized that part of her umbrella is the same piece that Roman has on his weapon.
Yeah. So she goes to... And she was pretty much... RWBY didn't know she was there. She was pretty much going for a killing blow on RWBY. Yang saw it. Yang activated her semblance, screamed RWBY, and took the shot for RWBY. And here is the most shocking moment of the episode. Yang bounces and falls off. We hear a heartbeat, and many are theorizing that it is in fact Blake's. Weiss and RWBY are shocked, but Blake is already moving. She goes to throw Gamble to hook Yang. She's too late.
And she misses her by
Yeah, and the moment Gamble misses Yang, the heartbeat stops. And Yang is like pretty much half conscious at this moment.
Because the blow she took
It
at
broke
that
her
moment,
aura.
it broke her aura. So
yeah. And okay. Now we go over this in a video that'll come out the day that chapter 13 comes out. It's going to be on our Patreon first. Yang's not dead. I don't want to go into a lot of it because we go to it in detail in that video. So we're not going to
but we will point out the obvious points here.
Yes, this little glowing thing you see here, that is not her disintegrating. She fell through the dimension.
Like the dimensional wall that surrounds that entire portal.
Yeah.
But she fell through it.
Yeah, and like I said, we'll go more in detail in that video.
But I'll point out a matching point to this at least when we get back to a screen with it.
Yeah. So,
which actually there in the background, see the sparkles that are around the portals? That's the same thing that you see that she fell through.
And it's also the same animation as the intro when we see all of Team RWBY falling through. All of Team RWBY's going
Just think
down.
Of it like shooting star-like sparkles. That's what that looked like.
Yeah. So we finally get Aaron's screaming bit, and it's of course it's Blake screaming Yang's name. Very good scream by Aaron. It was very effective. Penny hears it. Penny finally, I guess now realizes that something is really wrong. And so RWBY does not really have time to react. There are already people saying RWBY doesn't care about Yang.
No, Neo literally turned around to attack her.
And also, an argument is bad when they take the same argument they've been using since Volume 6 and just switching the characters. It's like...
Anyways. Well, Penny knew something was going on, but she didn't know how bad it was because they told her to go.
Yeah.
But...
So, you can't really tell right here, but while RWBY is being relentlessly attacked by Neo, Blake is literally...
trying to jump.
Yeah,
much.
And Weiss stops her, which is, I think they added for, deliverance of what's going on, but they're all three gonna jump, I think, for Yang eventually, so it's like, Weiss is gonna be like, heck, I went through all that, and we're going anyway, but yeah, she literally has to pull Blake back over. She's still reaching for Yang, and then she just breaks down for a little bit.
But instead of... this is also a very strong moment that actually I didn't think about when we first saw it, but think about back when when we first saw her and in the beginning where she was going through everything, she would break down, but she had her moment, and now she's, instead of just suffering from it, she's gonna do something about it. Like, she's
But-
gonna get back up pretty much quickly.
But she is crying. She's got tears in her eyes. And a lot of people have, theorized the reason why she's holding her head right here is because of their head touching thing. It could be that, or it could be that she's just
But it's
in
also
despair.
a reflex. When you're in despair, this is what you do. Like, it's... But that quickly, when she gets up rage...
For the first time, we see, like, Blake seriously mad. Jess is...
and the ear animation just was amazing. Like, we've seen pretty much almost every...
Because that's what a cat does when a cat is pissed off at you. That's
very pissed off. I mean... I said, there's different things, but I've had cats, and
I've seen all the time, like
rage.
Well, like stray cats, if you walk up on them, their ears will do that, and that's when they're doing the whole at you, like you keep coming closer, you're going to get the claws.
So we've seen her ears down before, we've seen her mad, and we've seen them how they react, but this is completely different, and this, especially because of what just happened, she's out for blood pretty much. Think of the big cats.
Yeah.
Like, big wild cats. Their ears will do that if they're in the middle of a huge fight with a bigger animal.
And Blake does attack Neo. She goes right after her. And, of course, Neo, using her semblance, gets away, which pisses off Blake even more. And Neo is still going after Ruby, and Blake goes on. And Weiss fights Cinder. I was like, I never thought I wanted another... a real fight between Weiss and Cinder, but now I'm glad I'm seeing it. And then Penny just comes in and just punches Cinder and knocks her back a couple of feet. And she brings up, didn't you learn your lesson last time? Cinder smugly says, oh, but Penny, I did. She says, oh, Penny, I did. And it's so funny. Like, I felt so bad for Cinder after chapter 6 with her whole background, but now I just want her to get knocked out so bad. Now this
is what connected what I was talking about. That fits with the fire and everything. Yeah, it's part of it. Obviously, it would tie in with the Winter Maiden stuff, but he took her blueprints from her original blueprints and rebuilt her in human form, which is, if she would really think about it, she could find a way to project her weapons, because obviously the weapons were built into the robotic body she had. Now she would need something else. So what better way is for her to actually be able to project it? We don't know what her actual semblance is going to be. So maybe, I think this has something to do with it. Maybe she can do something similar to Velvet. Just her own weapons.
And someone mentioned on Twitter, because we didn't catch it in our reaction, but she does the whole motion that she used to do when she would summon her weapons to come out, and that's why she looks back. She realizes, oh, they're not there anymore, so she has to do them like this, which I was blown away. I was like, holy crap, she can still use them.
Well, when she tried to do it the first time, Cinder knocked her back.
Yeah.
But now I think she kind of thought about it. Okay, let's try something else.
But there's a lot going on here. There's Penny and Cinder fighting. Weiss uses her glyphs to skate up the walkways. Ruby and Blake are fighting Neo. There's just a lot going on. And this right here, I believe, is Cinder attacking Weiss once again. Now, she actually sends it toward where people are going into Vacuo, and Weiss blocks it, but I think, Weiss gets caught off guard and hurt again. Now, here's the thing, though. Weiss, I don't know if we'll catch it here, but Weiss uses her gravity glyphs to keep her up after that happened. Could that lead to her falling? Like, her aura, because I don't remember if her aura broke or if it was flashing or if it was cracking.
I think it cracked.
So Weiss might be the next one to go. Who knows? But, like I said, we go into that in our other video. So Ruby is still trying to fight Neo off. Blake is there as well. And Blake, there's Weiss right there.
She's using her glyphs.
Yeah, so that makes me worry about Weiss right there, her being in that situation. And it's funny, like Blake, I forgot what Blake hears, but she looks and she has this, just distraught look on her face. But that's the last we see of Blake, really, this episode. We don't really know.
Yeah, she's
where
so
that's
focused on going after Neo, and then she sees that now Weiss is in trouble because of things. So now it's becoming of which way she needs to help first.
Yeah. So on the outside, Harriet is still planning on using the bomb. Like, she is insane at this moment. But Vine stops her, and just like we've been saying in this whole volume, that eventually it was going to start with Marrow, then Elm, then Vine. Now, so, and she, do you really want to do this, Zeke, I believe it was, so I guess that's Vine's first name. So yeah, now Vine is like, this isn't right, the general's no longer in power, so she brings up that Clover would have seen this through. And
but she really, in the sense that she obviously knew him, she'd probably think that, but I have a feeling seeing what Ironwood's doing, I don't think Clover would have so much have followed. But we don't know.
But anyway, Vine says that Clover was important to you, so was he her mentor, or did she have feelings for Clover? And because this is like the really first time we've finally fully seen Harriet break a little bit to show some sort of emotion. Yeah,
other than anger.
Yeah, besides cockiness and anger. So that
that mess, whatever.
Yeah, so that's definitely something that I'd like to know more about. So anyway, Robin catches up to him and pretty much goes Grand Theft Auto and just rams right into them. I believe, Vine is knocked. I can't remember if that is what knocked him outside or if Harriet did, but he grabs on to the ship to hang on for dear life. Okay,
because she went and set the bomb and then took off to drive it, the ship anyway.
Yeah, that's right. Okay,
and then
Crow has one of the best entrances ever. He's in bird form. He changes
right through the glass.
Yeah, and tackles her. He even says, "Well, you're finally going to get that fight that you wanted." But while they're fighting, Watts takes over the ship, which is just like, oh, that's just great. So the bomb's going to go off probably anyway. And probably do a lot more destruction. And Maria and Pietro still haven't come down.
I know.
We've not seen them since like chapter 5.
Well, I had mentioned to you, I think I said, well, think about it this way. Atlas Falls, at least they're not on it.
Yeah, at least they're not on it. So we go to Winter. She is where the vault is, and she's trying to get a hold of everyone, like, hey, how's the evacuation going? And I knew exactly what was going to happen here. I was like, oh no. And there's a laser that appears, and she is shot at, and yep, it's Ironwood. And
you're making me hate you even more.
He says, I chased a lot of shadows over the years, trying, to find traitors and all that, and he just never expected she would. He says he's going to do whatever it takes to get that staff back. Well, unless you know exactly what's going on, I don't think you're going to even know where they're at, unless you find one of those portals. And, Winter says, she's made it her duty to fighting the enemies of the kingdom, and she says she doesn't plan to stop now. And what we see is Ironwood actually sheds a tear. That might actually be his semblance wavering a little bit. I'm worried.
The side of him that he needs to listen to, not everything else.
And let me put it to you this way. Yang is my favorite character. You all know this. And even after what happened in this episode, Yang's all right. She's alive. I'm more worried about Winter at this moment.
I don't want to lose Winter, please.
Because even if she defeats Ironwood, Atlas is still falling. So, and there's the bomb. There's the bomb that we have to worry about now. We don't know what's going to go on with that. So meanwhile, in Vacuo, Ren has been masking everyone because, there's a lot of negative emotions going on right now, but sadly, he's at his limit. His aura breaks. And, Oscar's like, wait, where's Penny? She should have joined us by now. he goes to go back, and he just, boop, bounces off of it. And he's like, why can't I get through? And Oz is like, oh,
no.
dear. Like,
he goes,
no.
Oh, no. Ambrosia.
Yeah,
That's exactly what he says.
Yeah. And is it Ambrosia or Ambrosius? I can't remember already.
I can't remember.
And wife said with a one-way ticket to Vacuo, and he took that literally. Yeah.
Now we know where the downside of that went.
Yeah.
Because
they are stuck. They cannot go back.
With what Oz said, they had it all planned out perfectly, but...
Yeah, they should have watched that wording.
Yeah, the wording was what was going to get them.
And what's worse, we've got... I believe this is the Ravagers from the novel. So, yeah. Things just... we wanted chicken salad. We got rotten chicken salad instead. So... it's not good. We've got all these people, and I mean, no offense to Ren, Oscar, and Emerald, but it's just them right now. They've got all these people to protect, and it's just these three. So, I wish next week wasn't the finale.
I really do hope that some of the ones that came through with them, because it's obvious...
Know how to fight?
Well, know how to fight, but some of them could still also potentially be other... huntresses, like,
I just,
or at least people that have a basic knowledge of that.
Yeah.
Because we do know when Nora was zipping around, each section that people were coming through, there was obviously some people leading them. So.
But anyway, this episode was written by Kiera C. Miles and Eddie. Golly.
Gonna be a log week.
Yeah. So. Back up a little bit. So Winter versus Ironwood, I have no idea how that's going to go. Winter is the one I'm most worried about at this point. Ren, Oscar, and Emerald are having to protect all the refugees from all these Grimm. It's just the three of them, and Ren's aura just broke because he's been using his semblance. Gonna say it one more time. Yang's not dead. The finale, I guess I'm hoping somehow Ruby and the others are able to get rid of Neo and Cinder, and then I'm pretty sure this volume's going to end with Ruby, Weiss, and Blake jumping in. And then volume 9 will be in a different world for a little bit. And then volume 10 will be Vacuo. Like, Team Ruby will be in this other world, and Jean and the others will take the refugees away. I don't know what will take them to Vacuo. Somewhere safe in Vacuo. I don't know what's going to happen with Crow and Robin fighting Harriet, and with Watts having control of that bomb. I have no idea. That might be what kills Ironwood as the place blows up. I mean, I don't know what else is going to happen. And then we've also got the whole thing with Salem is going to be coming back soon. So
she's going to come back to nothing.
Yeah, she's going to come back to everything being in the shit. Her plans, everything. And if Cinder is still alive, she is not going to get the good end of that. Because she will get the blame. Salem will blame her for all of that.
Well, I see it this way. If Watts is still alive, he'll just tell her.
Yeah, he will. He'll rat her out faster than anybody.
But the way I see it this way, it's either Cinder's going to either die by somebody else, or Salem's going to kill her.
Yeah.
There is no, good ending for her.
No.
And like I said, it really does point to everything we've known now, every little, hint that we've seen, Cinder's at her end.
Well, it's mostly because usually, not in every series, but most series, once they cover a long-term villain's background, 9 times out of 10, they're about done. The only one, of course, this doesn't relate to in this instance is Salem, because we got her backstory in 6, and of course Salem's not going anywhere for a while. But there's more to her. We knew there'd be more to her. Just like I know there's some people, when we get a background of any character, it usually is an end. No, it's not, usually. I mean, because usually they just become, if we get their full story and there's nothing else left for them, they kind of just fall back and they're added to the story as needed, I guess you'd say. But
Yeah, Cinder's she's at her end. We know it. It's just a matter of when.
But yeah, next volume, we still got the finale to go, so we'll see what happens. This could all change by this time next week. But once again, I'm gonna keep repeating it. Yang's not dead. And I think I've said this in every video. In the reaction, I said it. In the video we did, I said, I'm gonna say it in this one. If Blake does not kiss Yang when she sees her after this, something is wrong. But yeah, great episode. It's definitely setting up for what Volume 9 is probably going to be, and that's a trip to the other realm where the vaults take place in. It's going to be a wild ride. Can't wait to see it. But, got anything else to add? Well, guys, as always, this is Canaan.
This is Jessie.
Hope you enjoyed our analysis of Chapter 13. And we'll do another one for the finale. And we also got a little podcast-style show to do once the volume is over with, where we'll talk about the volume, thoughts going into Volume 9, and other stuff, just to have a little fun chit-chat. And as always, guys, if you enjoyed it, please hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell, click that like button, leave us a comment, tell us what you thought of this episode. And as always, guys, take care of yourselves. Stay safe out there. We love you very much, and we will see you in the next one. Bye.
Bye.